What's up, everyone? Today I'm going to be building the Centipede, basic Fun Centipede uh, Countertop Arcade Classics. I'll build this one just like I did the WrestleFest. It's weird to have to really build these little guys, man. I'm not, where are my glasses? Not used to doing this. Let's see, F and C, where's C? And D, there's C. I've known everybody in the home arcade YouTube space for a while now. I know P-Dubs did a video of this, and so it's going to be this side first. Okay, get these rubber feet on. This should be the back side, so let's see. Yeah, I don't like that you have to build these little guys. Okay, then sit on. Okay. Yeah, I figured I'd start doing some videos of me building these things, right? Why not? I do them with a screwdriver, so sorry if the noise bothers anybody. I figured I'd build these, talk a little bit. Yesterday, I noticed everybody was streaming. Jesus, there was so many, all the big dogs, all streaming at the same time. James, Michael B, Cornercade, Fox, 19K Fox, some Gallagher guy. Popular night to stream last night. But I know P-Dubs put a video together building one of these. And so did the quarter deck Pete. I think he took his down, though. I think it had something to do with high scores or something. Pete's a good guy. Quarter deck, if you don't follow him, you should. He's a good dude. I watch him, try to watch him most Sundays. He's on. He's a nice old guy. But I figured I'd make some of these videos of putting these things together. Post them on YouTube. I'm not looking to do this like as a full-time gig or anything. Just some fun. Let's see, this angle is going to go towards the front. So this should be like this. Okay. Yeah, it's awkward having to put these together. But Centipede's one of my favorite games as a kid. My dad and his friend owned a bar. And I remember when they got Centipede, they had some arcades. And my basement was set up like a bar. If I blindfolded you and took you in my basement as a kid, you would have thought you were in a Chicago tavern, old school tavern. You can pretty much tell where all the. This one has more than the WrestleFest, more the wooden dolls. So I think the WrestleFest had 4. This one has 5. I know there was some stuff with the WrestleFest. I guess you couldn't run with it, which is you got to give Basic Fun a little slack, right? They're new at this. I'm sure they'll get their act together. I'm sure they'll learn. I'm not get their act together, but I'm sure they'll learn how these things are supposed to be. But Centipede it's been one of my favorite games since I was a little kid. And the artwork on this little countertape's nice. I think this actually looks nicer than the Ultra one because the artwork goes all the way up. You got that little Atari at the bottom. I think this is a better. I think it's and it looks nicer than the Arcade 1-Up countertop. Arcade 1-Up Centipede, I had it. I ended up selling it, but it had like that. What do you guys call it? The shark fin design. So this almost looks like a miniature Centipede cab, but we'll see how it is once it's together. We'll see the gameplay. I was born and raised in Chicago. I have a second home out in Arizona I bought about 20 years ago. And my parents retired out there about 25 years ago, and I bought a house out in Maricopa, Arizona. And it's not the county of Maricopa, it's the city of Maricopa. A lot of people get that confused when I tell them I have a house in Maricopa. This has got to be the front, yeah. Oh, is this just getting? I think I'm missing a wooden dowel. Yeah. This does have more wooden dowels than the WrestleFest for sure. But I bought a house out there about 20 years ago. I've had it for forever. I like Arizona a lot. I plan on retiring out there when I retire. About 5 more years ago. Been a carpenter for 31 years. I've been a general superintendent for a lot of those years. I grew up in the city. I grew up in Chicago my whole life. My whole family. And I plan on moving out to Arizona when I retire. Now I gotta remember. Can't forget the top piece. Last time I forgot the top piece. This is like the WrestleFest. It doesn't have the what do you call it? Here we go. Built the same way as the WrestleFest countertop. Imagine this one goes here. It's gonna go like that. I think once you put one of these together, it's easy to figure out. Not the second time when you do it. That's gonna go like that there. What is these things are? These things are getting expensive, man. All of them. The bigger ones, the smaller ones. I don't know if they're blaming it on tariffs or what, or companies are just getting greedier. I don't know. Who knows, right? Let's just see what happens here. This one's gonna go like that there. I don't want to forget the top this time. So once you do it once, it's kind of like the Arcade 1-Ups. I still have about 20 Arcade 1-Ups still in the box. And when I was buying them, I never looked at them. I didn't find them on YouTube. A buddy of mine actually came in my shop and was like, "Bill, can you build me thing to make this cabinet taller. I bought this arcade cabinet from Walmart. And I was like, really, a real arcade? I didn't know what the heck he was talking about. And he's like, no, it's a fake arcade. So I was like, yeah, bring it in. I had no idea what it was, and it was, I think the Pac-Man, the first Pac-Man that came out. And when I seen it, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the heck? That's what got me into them. Then I would buy Storm in my garage. And I ended up, at one time, I think I had like 30 something of them. Only had a handful of them set up. I still only have a handful of them set up. I've sold some brand new in the box. But these are cool. I think people look too much into them and criticize them a little too much for what they actually are. I mean, these things are imitations. They're not supposed to be the real thing. Yet some people, like me, I think they should make Centipede a 2-game cabinet, even on the full size or on the XL size. It should just be Centipede and Millipede. But then you'll have those people that'll go on YouTube and complain that it only has 2 games on it. So it's like you're damned if you do and damned if you don't, right? I don't know. I always peel back the. All right. Pretty simple, right? So let's put these wooden dolls in here. But yeah, I figure I'm going to start recording these things. This is a hobby. I'm not trying to compete with anybody. I figured if Danny Corner Cake can post videos, I for sure can. I'm just kidding, Danny, if you're watching this. But I watch everybody. I watch P-Dubs. I'm not like biased or team whatever or team this. I watch Steps. I watch Biggie. Obviously, I watch P-Dubs and Michael B and them guys. I think they're cool. They're good dudes. Me and Michael B are actually friends on Facebook. He's a good guy. So, all right, let's fix this. Something's getting hung up there. There we go. But I watch everybody. I think that all you guys are good. Steps. The whole community. I think is Garage Gamer. They get a late show I watch on Fridays. I think it's Fridays. But yeah, I like watching everybody. You guys are all good people. There's no need for drama, right? We're all just trying to relive our childhood, right? But I was born in Chicago in a very Irish Italian neighborhood. It was, I grew up on Harlem Avenue. Elmwood Park, Melrose Park. Predominantly Italian, Irish. You started having some of the Polish move in. They were cool. American Polish. And that's where I grew up. My parents grew up on Taylor Street, which is, Chicago has 3 Little Italies. The original Little Italy is 24th and Oakley. The second most well-known Little Italy is Taylor Street. And then you have Harlem Avenue, which became the 3rd Little Italy. That's where I grew up. And I still live off Harlem Avenue my entire life. I grew up going to the members-only cafes, and my grandfather was started in the 40s as a wheelman for the Chicago outfit. he was tied in. So I grew up, everybody kind of knew who we were. And I grew up around that atmosphere my entire life. Never got involved with it. My dad was never involved in that. My dad was a Navy vet. He passed away recently in August. So he was a good man. He would always tell me, not, don't get involved in them guys, with those guys, when they own you. So it's always better just to be your own man. So that's what I did. And I got friends everywhere, but I'm not a part of that. But yeah, wow, this thing was fast. It was a lot faster than the other one I did. The artwork on this looks great. But yeah, that's how I grew up. So I kind of followed after my dad. Stayed away from that stuff. My grandfather, everybody knew him. It helped me out in life a lot because of my grandfather, because of who he was. Son of a gun, though. I did it again. I forgot to put these tabs on. I should have put them on the panels first. Second time I did this now. Well, I'll learn on the third time, right? But something, is it only two? Oh yeah, the control panel only gets 2 screws. That's weird. But yeah, so it helped by my grandfather, was who he was, helped me out, give me a little edge when I wanted stuff, or wanted jobs or whatever. But I grew up around them people my entire life. It's not bad having friends, right? But me and my brother steered clear of that stuff. Oh, I should have put these on first. Darn it. It's gonna be a pain in the ass. But I think Basic Fun, I think it's a good company. I think it'll learn from its mistakes. You know what? I'm gonna take this panel off. It's gonna be a pain in the ass doing both of these like this. But these are only typically hung up on, it doesn't have the right control for this or right control for that. I kind of agree with Michael B when it comes to, and I think Fox has said it, I think a couple guys have said it, P-Dubs. P-Dubs probably grew up a lot like me. He grew up just outside of Chicago, one of the suburbs. So I probably relate to him the most when it comes to YouTube because he grew up in similar, where he lived wasn't far. I think he said he grew up in Carroll Stream. That's not far from Chicago. So, but I'm in my 50s. And stuff just reminds me of being a kid. I think that's why I think we all get it, right? But I think you just can't get too hung up on them being perfect because they're not going to be. Not for these prices, even though they're getting expensive. They're just, these are imitations. They're not the real thing. So that's why I cut them some slack. I gotta put these plastic things on before this thing is off. But yeah, I don't get hung up and get too technical on, on this shit because, they're imitations. They're not the real thing. And I would never, the only real cabinet I got, believe it or not, is Centipede. That's the only real arcade I would ever have. The rest of them I would buy from companies like Arcade One Up and Basic Fun because I don't want 20, real arcade machines. I got injured at work years ago, and I had metal rods fusing my neck together and my lower back. So the last thing I want to do is have to lift some heavy things like this. Yeah, put these plastic tabs on first. I said it in my last video and totally forgot to do it on this one. Right. But yeah, I like everybody in the community. I'm not, unless you're one of those people that completely just shit on stuff, just to shit on it, I don't know. I think why even be involved in it if you're just gonna shit on everything, right? Don't even talk about it. I don't understand that. I don't get involved in any of that shit. I know what these things are. I'm not dumb. They're, imitations. All right, solid. I 100% suggest putting them plastic tabs on first. I've been done by now. Yeah, I think everybody puts out good content, It shouldn't be drama. I hear things, I've talked to some of these guys outside of YouTube. Unneeded drama, man. It's not worth it. Not all that serious. This is a cool looking cat. This is a cool little counter table. It looks good. I want to check out the screen. I want to see if it's I know P-Dubs in his stream has like a recap on it. I think he did a second video. I was talking about the screen. So let's see what the screen looks like. That's what I want to know. But yeah, I think Fast and Furious. I think they came out with one game. People complain about it. Wasn't the real thing. But I love it. I love Fast and Furious. Then Terminator, that was X amount of dollars for just one game. So I think the companies, when they hear that, they feel that they have to put out multiple games. So you can't have it two ways, right? You either want a dedicated cab with, one, two, maybe three, maybe a handful of games that will work with those controls, and that's it. You can't complain if you don't get, 15 games to a cab or 14 games, whatever it is. So last time I put this control panel in, let me tell you, it looks pretty good. Last time I put this control panel in, I did,
I see you over there. Yes, you.
love that little guy.
Come on over and let Zoltar be sharing with you your fortune.
Take it easy, old man. But, shit. I'm gonna connect this before I get it tied down. This last time I screwed this down and it was really a pain in the ass to plug this in. It was really tight. It's a pain in the ass to do it while it's not. Okay, so there's a little like notch on this, which will show you how it's supposed to go. The notch goes to the inside of the cab. Very easy. I'll peel peel some of this up on the bottom. So let me drop this thing in. I don't want any of the plastic in there. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's pretty simple. But it's Friday. I think I'm going to try and do one video a week. We got another cab from this, what do you call it? The asteroids. I think I might do that next week. You know what? I'm going to take this bottom stuff off first. We got the asteroids. Probably going to do that next week for you guys. I don't plan on doing any live videos. Like I said, I'll go on people's streams, but I don't plan on doing it myself. I'm not doing any monetization. I'm not looking to make money off this shit. So not that sound like a jag, but I'm not looking for money out of this stuff at all. I don't need it. I'm good. Just doing it for fun. And like I said, I mean, if Cornicade can do this, I mean, shit, anybody can. I'm just kidding, Dan. All right, this is. You might have to peel that up a little more because the screws are really close to the control panel. So when you do this, you got to peel that plastic almost all the way up. Don't forget to tighten your screws on the screen back. This thing looks nice. I know a lot of people complained about the light up marquee. I know it's pretty much, this deck feels the same, the flat, like matted material as the WrestleFest. I'm going to do a video comparing a bunch of these. No nicks, no blemishes. It's pretty good. Nothing basic fun on the front, just arcade classics at the top of the screen. Basic fun in the little corner back here. It's a little tiny. Not like Arcade 1-Up. Arcade 1-Up had their name on everything. I like these. I'm curious to see how this, take the rest of this film off. Yeah, I think I think there's people like us that are still into this, but I think the craze for this stuff, and people got addicted to this shit. Had to buy like every cabinet that came out. I think the craze is kind of faded on this stuff. I don't think it'll ever be like it was in 2020. Oh, shit, Bill, god damn it. I don't think it'll ever be like it was in 2020 or 2021, 2022, 2023. Like, I think the craze for this is over. I think it'll just be your people that are into it, that like it, and now you gotta do the back. I gotta put these screws on the plastic tab too. Yeah, I think people were nuts over this for a little while, and I think that's kind of faded now. I don't think it's as. I mean, there were so many YouTubers out with this stuff when I first got this. I initially started with like watching YouTube content about this stuff with. I already had a bunch of them, but I seen in Marketplace Marvel Countercade or an NBA Jam Countercade, the 2-player. I think it's the only one they made, 2-player, with like 1,500 games. And when I seen that, I was like, I didn't know you could do that. So I went on YouTube to try and find a video that would show how you could put more games onto this little countercade I had gotten. And I went and I drove all the way up to Sheboygan, Wisconsin, bought this guy's countercade, which Sheboygan from Chicago it's a ride. So I go all the way up there, and so I had all the all the 2-player countercades. I still do, and I wanted to see how this guy did this. You know, I didn't ask him. I didn't think he'd tell me anyways because he was selling them at the time. So what I ended up doing was going on YouTube to try to figure out how I could do this. Now I gotta, don't forget the plug. So I YouTube how to, yeah, this one too. It's got a little mini USB-C drive plug for it. It's got to be so you can update these machines. It has to be. Because why else would you have that? So anyways, I YouTubed it, and I seen a video of a guy that was showing you how you can do this. And that guy was P-Dubs. And that's how I started following everything. All the content creators that I watch now started following P-Dubs to his tutorial on how to add more games to the countercades. The arcade went up, the 2-player countercades. And then you know how it gives you suggestions to follow this person, that person. Then I think Michael B was the second one. Then so on and so on. Fox, B Kong. I watched a lot of B Kong's videos, man. He had some cool shit. A lot of cool mods that he did to his machines. But yeah, it's pretty much how it happened. That's how I started following all the YouTube content creators. And that's about it. Then it was Danny Cornercade, then it was Steps, just all these people. All you guys are all good group people. Garage Gamer. The one guy I watched a lot was Third Floor Arcade or something. That dude always had a lot of stuff. I always watched his videos. I don't think he's still on YouTube anymore. Or I don't think he still puts out videos. But yeah, this one I think is definitely faster than the last one I did. I think after you do the first one, you kind of know the steps. I mean, granted, I missed the tabs again, but it's pretty easy. And I think they do it just to save on shipping, flat packing. Not a giant box like Arcade 1-Ups when you bought those. My last Arcade 1-Up I bought was $192 for the Mortal Kombat. The last NBA Jam 2-player I bought because I got a couple of those. But yeah, P-Dubs was the guy that got me into following YouTube. I never followed. I mean, I had these for a long time. I never followed anybody on YouTube. I don't, I think it's because I'm older. I don't get influenced, you know. Otherwise, I'd have a 4KP because everybody was pushing those for a while. I don't get influenced. I just watch stuff to see, like the modding and that kind of stuff. But gotta be careful because I got a little nick right here, tiny little nick, just from the screwdriver. Literally tapped it. Damn. But power bank. See how this thing plays. Yeah, I end up buying all the light up marquees for my party cades. I got so many of the party cades. I got all the good ones. And I love those things. But I wanted the Centipede Countertop. I like these things because if you're at your house, I have like 2 of them next to my ottoman. It's like they're kind of pushed back against the wall. You can't see them if you walk in my living room. But if I'm bored, I got my my Evercade right there, and then I have my my Mortal Kombat single player one. So if I'm bored, I just put it on my lap, and you can play these things on your lap like no problem. It's not like they weigh a lot. Let's see how this thing plays, right? Make sure it's off. Let's see what happens here. The last one took a little while to boot up, it felt like. There we go. That is loud. I mean, the black is pretty good. I can see what P-Dubs was saying. It's not as bad as like the first gen. Um, not as good as like the last Mortal Kombat, the last single player one I bought. Like I think it was their latest before they went to the shittier screens with the Pac-Man and that they had a Kohl's for 149, the battery operated one. But this is, I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong, it's good. But yeah, let's turn this light off. Let's see how this plays. What are we gonna do here? Oh, you got to coin in with the second player. Trackball's good. Come on already. And I think to keep the high score, you have to go back to the home screen after you're done. Oh, really? I'm really much better than this, trust me. Oh, I hit it on 2-player. Let me hold this down. Hold that down. Let's see, millipede. Bam, bam, bam. Bastard. Yeah. Bastard. 2 players again. I don't get why I did that again. Alright, come on. Came over by one. Came over player 2. Millipede's pretty fast. Let's play Super Breakout. It is different playing without a spinner, but it's not that bad though. Playing with the trackball, it really isn't. It's not horrible. It is this is sensitive though. This spinner. Such a simple game that I just love to play. All right, so that's Breakout. Come on, I got that one. Ah, shoot. Not bad. The trackball's good though. It's not. It's. I think it's better than the arcade one up. The arcade one up stock trackball. I was never a big fan of this game, anyways. So I'm probably never gonna play it. Yeah, I never liked this game. I will probably never play this game. But I bought it mainly for Centipede, Millipede, and Super Breakout. And they all play good. Centipede and Millipede played great with the trackball. Super Breakout, the trackball is really sensitive, so it's a little different playing with the trackball versus a spinner. Um, but yeah, it's definitely a solid little countercade. But just be careful because that nicked way too easily. I mean, that screwdriver like barely tapped it and it nicked the control panel. And if this is supposed to be play guard, that shouldn't. I wouldn't think it would nick that freaking easily. But Little tiny nick, but still. Now I'm gonna have to get a navy blue marker and see if I can just dab it on there. That's gonna annoy me. But otherwise, it's a good little countertade. I'll probably put out a couple shorts about with it. I'll probably do that with all of my videos. Put out a couple shorts, and I appreciate anybody that watches them. Um, I'll have another one next week, probably the asteroids countertade. I did the WrestleFest, which was right here. Nice little. They're the same exact size. They're identical. I mean, they're literally identical. A little bit different shape with the on the side, but width wise, height wise, they look identical. Are they worth $250? No, I don't think I'd spend $250 on them. But they had the what is it? The coupon that was like 50. It was $50 off, so it was $199. Yeah, I mean that's not bad. We know everything's going up in prices. If you like countercades, I do. I like countercades and partycades a lot. I like them because they don't take up a ton of space, and I can put them all on a shelf in my basement. And with stools and stuff, I got like a bar along the one wall that they'll all go against, and it'll look nice. But yeah, no, Centipede's cool. It's a cool countercade. I like the form factor better than the arcade one up. I do wish somebody comes out with something to light up these marquees. That would be really cool to see. Um, they feel good. Matte feeling to the control deck. Shoot, I didn't mean to do that. But I think you'll be happy with it. And screen's not bad, like I said. Screen isn't bad. Saves high scores, but in order to save the high score, you got to go back to the home screen, and it'll save it. You can't just turn the machine off, otherwise it won't save. Other than that, though, it's a cool little countercade, and I love Centipede, so obviously I'm biased on it. Anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. See you in the next one.